Now I have the absolute pleasure of speaking with Liam Hennessy of Applehead Studio. I want to thank you very much, Liam, for getting off your dirt bike, cleaning up, and coming in to speak with us.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Please, first and foremost, tell me a little background on that name. How did that come about?
The name Applehead Studio came about from, unfortunately, drunken immaturity. A friend of mine had a little too much to drink one night at a party and kind of found himself asleep in a chair, sat back, and this was before the days of digital cameras, and we started to put things on his head and take pictures with our wind-up film cameras throughout the evening. And one of those pictures that became a print was an apple on his head, and it really just stuck around for years. And when I became a photographer, a friend of mine said, "Oh, you know, what is this, Applehead Studio?" And the rest is history.
That's the name that stuck for you.
That was the name that stuck, yeah, and I didn't want it to be Liam Hennessy Photography because I knew I wanted something bigger than that, I guess. I knew that I wanted to eventually have a team of people and not just be all about me.
So first, let's talk a little bit about you. How long have you been doing weddings?
I'm going into my 13th year shooting weddings.
You've probably seen a big change in what you've had to shoot and what have people have expected over that time.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. The majority of what we shoot is here on the East Coast, so there's always that overwhelming theme of family and good time and kind of a laid-back feeling.
And beautiful backdrops.
Beautiful backdrops, yeah. The styles and trends have changed a lot over the years, but for the most part, that feeling of community and family and good time has remained.
So now tell me about the team. It's not just you that works. Who's a part of your team?
So there are about 6 of us that are full-time wedding photographers, 3 teams of us, of 2. We all shoot in pairs. And then we have a producer and studio manager, Jenny, and we also run a side business of photo booth business as well.
Is that something you added in not that long ago?
It was, yeah. We found ourselves providing the service of a photo booth to clients for a couple of years, and then just decided to purchase an actual standalone booth, and then that became its own side business, and then that sort of took off, and now it's its own entity as well.
So do you find that the pairs of 2, do they have their own identity? Do they have their own pictures, their own looks that they go for?
Yeah, absolutely. So Stephanie and I shoot together, and we've been shooting together for I think 7 years now, and we're kind of like peanut butter and jam, you know, left hand, right hand sort of thing. She's always one step ahead of me. I always know what she's thinking. We don't have to verbally communicate anymore. We just know what each other are doing. Ashley and Richard, they're a couple, and they function the exact same way. They've been shooting for, I think this will be their 5th season. So the same dynamic. They're also very laid back. Pretty easy to get along with, so it works well that when they shoot together. And then our other couple, Emma and Lauren, Emma's been shooting for 15 years. I think she used to shoot film, and she's been shooting with Lauren for about 10 years, I think. So they've really got this left-hand, right-hand thing going on as well, which works in a situation where you can't always verbally communicate. You just have to
get it done. Just get out there, get the shot, because that's a moment that you can't miss.
Right, exactly. There's no second tries on weddings, right?
Tell me about your style. You seem like a really fun group, a fun person. What's the style of photography that you do?
Yeah, I always get hung up on the word style. It's more just kind of our belief and approach in what we want to bring to a wedding when we're hired to shoot a wedding. We tend not to interfere a whole lot. We're very hands-off. We really want to capture real, raw life. So we're as happy shooting perfect makeup in a perfect backdrop as we are shooting, you know, sweaty, hot, running makeup, hair all over the place, dance floor, crazy party. The less than perfect moments to us are sometimes the most perfect moments.
They'll actually ask you if you want to get your dress dirty in order to get the shot.
we have done that.
That was a question that really stood out.
Yeah, we have. And a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people that they don't want to go outside or they don't want the wind to blow their hair.
No.
And, you know, we understand that, but we're kind of, you know, we're up for adventure. And the less planned things are, the better they can be sometimes. So.
Definitely. So let's give everybody an idea of what your day is like, or your team's day. After you take all those pictures and you go home with them, what do you do?
That's kind of when the real work starts after that. So we'll come home with anything from 6,000 to 10,000 images.
Whoa.
Yeah, we shoot a lot. It's very calculated, and we'll kind of, we're really trying to capture the moment. So we'll really work hard at shooting through a moment and following through the things that happen on a day.
And how long is a day for you?
We can shoot we offer anywhere from a 5-hour collection up to a full day. So we've done 18 to 20-hour days. A lot of times that'll be like really big weddings. It's often a travel wedding where we're out till 4 in the morning and.
Do you have a breakfast with them?
Yeah, pretty much.
A midnight snack
Yeah,
with them?
exactly. Yeah. But on average, I would say we're about 12 to 14 hours of wedding, and 8 to 10,000 images. And we usually, our keep rate is about 20%. So we keep sort of the best of the best, and we have a lot of things that we'll try that might not work out, some blinks or some looks that might not look good. So
the idea sounded good. We gave it a try, but
right,
yeah.
exactly, yeah. And then so I think on average our clients will get usually about 1,000 images in a final collection, and I think we've calculated that it takes about 30 to 35 hours for every wedding. So wedding day and then the post-production afterwards.
Yeah, and that's important to know. There's a lot of time put in afterwards as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like creating a movie. You shoot all the scenes and then you have to cull it and edit it and color it and tone it and really put it all together so that when you look at it from beginning to end, it has this comprehensive, it's a story. We're building a story. So.
And what feedback have you got from the storybooks you've created?
I think our favorite is when people say, you captured moments that I didn't even know existed. That's the greatest thing because,
that's gold, yeah.
We can take you outside for a half an hour in really pretty light and create some beautiful pictures. But when the bride and groom are separate and we're shooting the groom and he's doing something funny that the bride doesn't see and doesn't really get to see until 10 to 12 weeks down the road, that really means a lot. Or what I really like is when Mother's Day or Father's Day rolls around and the couples will pull images that we've shot from a wedding day and put those online as like, this is my mom or this is my dad.
Everyone gets to recap in that little moment.
Right, exactly. So we shoot, the family is equally as important as the bride and groom. So we want to tell those little, the inner stories of sort of the big story as well.
Perfect. And was there any last thing that you wanted to share with the couple? Tell them why you'd be the best to choose?
I don't know that we are the best for everybody. I think that we're definitely right for some people. Like I said, we're very hands-off and we don't like to interfere. We really like to just kind of blend in. We tell people that we're your best friends with cameras for the wedding day, and we're just as excited to be there as everybody else. So we just really want to kind of blend in and capture and tell the whole story as it is and let the day unfold. We don't have any preconceived notions. We just kind of go in and shoot it. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
It done.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in studio today.
Thanks for having me.
So when you go to the Showcase Wedding website, you can click on the link for Applehead Studio, and they have a quiz for you to take to see if they're right for you.